Let none escape!
Providing aid and succor to the wounded should be our first concern. If the heretics mean to observe the peace, then it would be folly not to do the same.
Alright, Hoshafal. That was rather close. That was rather too close for comfort. But would seem the calm is returned to our streets. My mind, however, yet clamors for 1,000 questions. You would return to Ishgard in the oddest of company, my friend. That, my friends, was rather too close for comfort. Praise Halone, that things did not end in bloodshed. I confess, I was more than a little dismayed to see you in the company of Lady Iceheart. Whatever is going on, then? Well, you see, we killed Nidhogg. And it turns out that this war was just caused by us. Beg pardon? You traveled to the Churning Mists together, along with Estenian? Never was there a more unlikely alliance, nor one so magnificently effective. Nidhogg is dead, the heretics pacified. Father and Sir Emmerich must know of this. Let us break the news to them together. I will bring Sir Emmerich to Fontaine Manor. Yes, yes, an excellent suggestion. Very well. Fen and I shall await you there.
Praise Halone, you are safe.
My safety was never in doubt, Father, for I had the Azure Dragoon and the Warrior of Light by my side. We bring the most wonderful tidings.
The infamous Lady Iceheart, here in Ishgard? This is most unexpected.
She has done much to quell the violence. The Inquisition may not approve, but we are glad of her presence.
And with the Great Worm's demise, even our nation's more reactionary elements will have scant grounds to press for her immediate impeachment.
My thoughts exactly.
What of the truth revealed to us by Hraesvelga? That the origins of the Dragonsong War, a core tenet of Ishgardian faith, are quite unlike those depicted in the scriptures.
That men and dragons once lived together in harmony, and that it was man's treachery which shattered the peace and plunged our peoples into war.
The same scripture also describes the origins of the High Houses. Were it exposed as false, the legitimacy of our rule would be called into question. If both Highborn and Lowborn can trace their ancestry to Thordan and his Knights 12.
But a single sip of dragon's blood is required to confirm their lineage.
If the Holy See knew of this and chose to remain silent, their crimes are grievous indeed. Regardless, this state of affairs cannot be allowed to continue.
Sir Emmerich, you cannot mean to raise this matter with the Archbishop.
Pray consider what you are proposing. If the Holy See chose to conceal the truth for centuries, what reason would they have to reveal it now?
At best, you will be branded a heretic and clapped in irons.
Then at least the Archbishop will have shown his true colors. My friends, this war will never truly be at an end until the truth is made known. You must see what lies on the horizon if it is not. When ruled by fear of a common enemy, we were united. But now we have none. During the war, the Highborn needed men to lead and the Lowborn men to follow. Not anymore. 'Tis but a matter of time before the old order is called into question. Lady Iceheart will share the truth with her followers, and the Holy See will be powerless to stop its spread. The disenfranchised will rise up united, and blood will flow in the streets once more. A divided Ishgard will not survive.
Tread carefully, Lord Commander.
My lady, is it wise to let him go? I sympathize with the Lord Commander's desire for reform, but to approach the Archbishop in this manner bespeaks an idealism to which I did not think Sir Emeric prone.
Though he comports himself as a realist, he has long dreamt of reform. 'Twas that idealism which first drew me to him, that which made me swear an oath to serve. We must not think of ways to hinder his cause, but rather ways to aid it, even should the Holy See cry heresy.
You cannot mean...
If the Lord Commander does not return from the vault at the appointed hour, I mean to go and fetch him.
Have care, my lady. Your words border on treason. Should they reach the wrong ears, you will be declared an enemy of Ishgard.
That is a risk I am willing to take. Lest you forget, my lord, I am not born of this land. My loyalty is to the Lord Commander alone, but I speak only of what may come to pass. If the rumors regarding his heritage are to be believed, we have naught to fear.
Lies and slander.
Forgive me, what rumors are these?
That Sir Emeric is the Archbishop's bastard son. Senior clergy are not permitted to marry and sire children. But even the holiest among us are not immune to temptation.
I labor to believe it. Sir Emeric is truly the Archbishop's son.
He has never been publicly acknowledged as such. But the rumors have plagued him since childhood. That he rose to his current position, despite being despised as a bastard and accused of profiting from his father's influence, bespeaks the quality of his character. It is my hope that on this occasion, the burden of his birth will work in his favor. Should our worst fears be realized, the Archbishop will not be so quick to execute his own flesh and blood, affording us time to mount a rescue.
Bastard or trueborn, he is our nation's best hope. If the Holy See dares to threaten him, I shall lead the charge against the vault myself.
Hear, hear! The future of Ishgard rests on Sir Emeric's shoulders. I too will do mine utmost to aid his cause.
Orshafon, be reasonable.
A knight lives to serve, Father. To aid those in need. The people need Sir Emeric more than ever, and we may be his only hope. There is no greater calling for a knight than to save the life of his fellow man. I swear to you, on the sigil of our house, that I shall do this and make you proud.
Even you? Romantic, reckless fools, the lot of you. So be it. Make your preparations.
I thank you all for your support.
All right, Lucia. Though your assistance is most welcome, I fear it will not be enough. Few as we are, we will struggle to reach the Lord Commander. If we are to succeed, we must needs recruit others to our cause. But how are we to carry on? How are we to carry out this bold endeavor? Even with an army of knights at our backs, a direct assault on the vault seems unlikely to succeed. You are correct, Master Elder. Not even the assembled might of House von Thor and the Temple Knights would be sufficient. With the support of another party, however, we may yet stand a chance. You speak of the other high houses? Precisely the opposite. I speak of the revolutionaries rumored to reside within the broom. 'Twas these disgruntled guardians who opened the gates of our city to the heretics, I believe. But of course, if their hatred of the Holy See drove them to such deeds, they might as well be persuaded to assist in Sir Emeric's rescue, knowing the truth he would lay bare. Such is my hope, Master Alphinaud. And I would have you and Fen reach out to them. As a temple knight and sworn servant of the Holy See, any overtures I make are doomed to fail. But as outsiders, the two of you may receive warmer welcome. Very well. We shall seek out the leader of these revolutionaries and make our case. My thanks. Estinian, will your brothers heed your command if you order them to stand aside? The dragoons have no love of politics, my lady. They will gladly watch and wait while the highborn fight amongst themselves. How very wise. Fen, we should hurry to the Forgotten Knight. Tataru may have knowledge of these revolutionaries. It's time to kill some Holy See bastards. Tataru, how's it going, girl? Fen Alphinaud, gods, I've been worried sick. It's so good to see you. And you, Tataru. How did you manage to escape the chaos in the streets? Gibrilont and the others barricaded the doors until the heretics left. No one was harmed, thankfully. But what about you two? What came of your journey? Well, we killed Nidhogg, and Sir Emeric's gonna... You're not serious. What was Sir Emeric thinking? I mean, the way you two talk about him, you wouldn't have believed... Anyway, we've heard rumors of people you're looking for, but I doubt they'll be of much use. The only thing I can say with any certainty is that they're led by someone named the Mongrel. A queer moniker, if I ever heard one, but mayhap it will make the individual in question easier to find. Come, let us make inquiries below. Brooms Starveling. A mongrel? Not sure I catch your meaning. To a blue blood, all of us are dogs down here. Hello, Broomhilda. What's that? Speak up. I can't hear as well as I used to. I don't know a goddamn thing about the mongrel, but if I did, you can be sure I wouldn't tell you. Ah, there you all are for now. Not a single shred of information. Just as I expected. These revolutionaries would not have evaded capture for so long without the masses' complicity. Still, it is good to know that Tataru's ears are sharp as ever. Frustrating though it may be, we must press on. While I continue speaking with the people of the Broom, why not go and see if Gibrillement knows aught of value? As the proprietor of the Forgotten Knight, surely he must have heard whispers of the mongrel before. We can only hope that he will be more forthcoming than the others. You know, people long for a sympathetic ear, but they need to know that it comes with tight lips. Discretion, Fen. That's what my customers expect, and if they don't get it, then I don't get them. That being said, not without my sympathies. I've heard the tales, and I know you've done right by the highborn and lowborn alike. Least I can do is point you in the right direction. But to do that, I'll need you to do something for me. So happens there's a hunter up in the Crozier who owes me a fair bit of coin. However, I've agreed to accept payment in fresh herbs. Go and get them for me. Agreed? Hulking hunter. So you're Grillamont's errand boy. Good. How's it doing? Same as always. Right. Anyway, I hope he appreciates how much trouble I had to go through on account of these bloody herbs. Tell him to enjoy them while they last, because I doubt I'll be able to find any more next year. Here. Give it all more. Here you go. Well, you go. You going to hand them over or not? No, I'm going to keep them. Screw you, buddy. These are mine now. This ought to do it. With a few other spices, I can make it just like she used to. There are things which stir the hearts of men like a sip of mulled wine. Share a glass with the right people, and who knows what stories they'll share. Now that I have to think of it, there's a woman. There's a woman I know who's rather fond of this blend. Kiratha is her name. She resides in the Pillars. She's a maidservant of some noble house or another, I forget. Anyway, be a shame if she didn't get to try this wine, and I'll give her a bottle. Yes, I am Heathira. I'm Hearitha. Beg your pardon, but do I know you, sir? I know this smell. This is the wine that girl used to prepare. Her special recipe. It must be decades since I last tasted this. Oh, the poor dear. Such a shame she was taken in by that Byron. He cut a dashing figure, I'll grant you that. Tall, slender, long of ear. But those dazzling ruby eyes of his were filled with lust. 'Twas not more than infatuation. What she felt, but she convinced herself it was love, and he couldn't help but take advantage. But when her belly started to grow, gods, the scandal! I mean, 'tis not an uncommon occurrence, but it was with a Hewer. It was with a Hewer made it so much. Well, I needn't tell you. She was discharged from his service, cast out into the streets, like so much refuse. After she returned to the broom, we drifted apart. I only learned of her death years later by chance. So the amorous nobleman beds his maidservant, then casts her aside when the seed takes root. Not the most original tale, is it? Cold comfort for the women and children who live it, though. Even the penitent can appreciate wine from time to time. Take Geraldeo, for example. Surely you've heard of him now. He's a monk who offers succor to the poorest of the poor in the broom. A man of many vows, but none which prohibits spiritualist beverages. Aye, if ever there was a man who deserved a drink, it'd be him. Hello, Geraldo. Hellone's blessing upon you, sir. A gift for me. This scent, how reminiscent of the wine once made by my dear old friend. May her soul rest in peace. Forsaken by her family, she toiled tirelessly to feed her and clothe her child. Yet somehow she found time to help me tend to those in even worse circumstances. How compassionate she was, so full of love for her fellow man. 'Twas that love which gave her child strength to endure the scorn of the other younglings. That little girl, bless her heart, she couldn't help that. She couldn't help what she was. Eventually she won them over, but those first few years were trying. Even more so when she had to start fending for herself. I remember days she spent standing on the walls, raven black hair flowing in the wind, staring out, as if searching for her mother's face in the mists. She was a remarkable woman, Fen. After everything she was forced to endure, she still remained hopeful for the future, for her daughter's future. Some bonds are thicker than blood, but blood still defines us, and divides us in the end. It's the legacy of our parents, Fen. We can't escape it, no matter how hard we try. So the mongrel and her pups chose to embrace theirs, to proclaim it to all and sundry. If you can understand that, then maybe you can find her on your own. You still looking for your mongrel? Like I said before, take your pick. Plenty around. If you know where to look, or did you fancy someone specific? Doesn't ring a bell. Sorry. Oh yeah, red eyes and black hair. Oh, someone's got unusual tastes. Afraid I can't help you then. Well, rather, it's bloody obvious you ain't of the broom. Did you think I'd just tell you because you asked them nicely? Hello, Elfina. Have you made any progress, Fen? Well, I know she's got red eyes and black hair. So a mongrel was born of an Elysian nobleman and a Huron maidservant. Granted, it's no location, but it's far more information than we had before. Yes. Now that her striking features are known to us, mayhap we need only remain vigilant. There must be a way we can draw the mongrel out into the open. Mayhap we should discuss this with Tataru. Speaking of which, where is Tataru? She... Oh, confound it. She went below to make inquiries on her own, didn't she? We must find her quickly, Fen. I have a premonition that this is not going to end well. You cast your gaze over the streets below, but no sign of Tataru. Oh no. She must be around here somewhere. I take it you've had no luck either. No, not really. Oh. I'm sorry. Forget I said anything. Wait, down there. Isn't that Tataru? His men are chasing her. Quickly, Fen. After them.
Where do you think you're going, Missy?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend.
What's going on here?
What's it to you, boy? Piss off.
Hold on. I've seen them around. They're in and out of House 4 Tom's Manor all the time.
Oh, I see. Skulking about at your highborn master's bidding, eh? Bloodhounds hoping to catch a whiff of heresy, is that it?
You are quite mistaken, I assure you. We came here to help. And if you know what's good for you, you will let us pass.
Haha! Listen to the pups yapping. Come here, boy. I'll give you cause to yelp.
Enough! Leave threatening women and children to our betters. We don't have the knack.
Hilda!
Lay a finger on the Blue Blood's pups, and you're like to lose the hand. And often I get called on by glorious heroes like yourself. So tell me, what have I done to deserve you?
Hello, Hilda. Before you start, let's go somewhere a bit more private, eh? Forgotten night, you say? Let's do this, Hilda. Am I going to have to beat her and her friends into submission first?
So, while you're on your way to kill Nidhogg, you stumbled on some dirty secrets that the Holy See has been hiding for centuries.
Eh? What are they on about?
The High Houses. And what makes a nobleman so bleeding noble? They trace their blood back to King Thordan and his Knights 12, the founders of Ishgard. But our friends here reckon we're all descended from the heroes of Eld. Highborn and lowborn alike. And so Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, has gone to ask the Archbishop if he wouldn't mind letting everyone know.
Is he simple? The old bastard will have him executed for heresy.
Well, seems to me that's what the good sir wants. Seems he thinks a noble sacrifice will serve to prove his claims.
We cannot stand idly by and allow Sir Emmerich to do this. Ishgard has need of him.
Look, you've a good heart, I can see that. Willing to risk your neck for someone else even when his troubles ain't yours. But what's this got to do with me?
If Sir Emmerich is imprisoned in the vault, we will need all the help we can muster to breach their defenses and rescue him.
What in the hells?
Ah, the unmistakable scent of heresy. And what do we have here? The honored guests of House Fortom consorting with the Queen of Rats. Ooh, plotting insurrection, I shouldn't wonder. That won't do. Sickness is wont to fester and spread. It must be burnt out ere the infection takes hold.
I reckon Sir'd be happy to wield the irons himself. Well, so happens I've got irons of my own.
Such simple creatures, rats. Certain to attack when cornered. Let us step outside, my lady. In here your toys could hurt someone.